Let's talk about champagne. So as I've been working my way through the Brut and the Toge champagnes, I do get requests for other types of champagnes, and I've got about 15 bottles of the Brut and the Toge champagnes to go through, and I do kind of like to break it up a little bit. So this is something very, very different. Usually I focus in on grower producer champagnes, as you all know. I have nothing against the bigger names and the bigger houses, but I have a special place in my heart for the grower producers. One thing I do like about the Mesnil is that it is a 100% Grand Cru. It is a 100% Chardonnay, and all the grapes and all the juice comes from Auger. Now, the cool thing about Auger is it is Grand Cru. It is one of the most prestigious, one of the most sought after grapes in Champagne. That Auger grape is just fantastic. And I spent an incredible evening in Auger during the Coachella this past year, celebrating and partying and drinking with all the people who go into making the grapes and making the wine in Auger to be sold and or to be used in cooperatives such as the Mesnil. And I have to tell you, the spirit of these people is magical. And to have a champagne from Auger is really special, and I've been kind of looking forward to this. But again, this is a 100% Grand Cru. And what does that mean? Grand Cru simply means that this is the best of the best. Now, the categorizing of the grapes and the standards, the Grand Cru, the Crus, all those, the Prestige, they don't really use those anymore, okay? But the villages that were granted the status will still maintain that they are Grand Cru. And it just means that this is truly the finest of the finest, the best of the best. And coming from Auger, that Chardonnay, that Cote de Blanc, this is going to be good. Now, I have had this before, and I have to tell you, I was impressed. And I bought a bottle of it, and I was going to do a review on it. And I said, well, let me taste it. And I tasted it. And I liked it so much that I opened the second bottle and I had that too. So unfortunately, this is a bit of a long time in coming before I got a chance to get another one and do this review. But let's get started. Let's enjoy this here. We all know I love this part of the day, this moment. The stripping the bottle, getting it ready. I get excited here. I really do. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1/2. Traditionalists. I like that. Here we go. You ready? I'm ready. Here we go. All right. Have a look at the eye candy here. Okay, let's have a nose. Before I get into this, I'm going to tell you what this reminds me of. While I was in Auger last year during the Coachella, and my friend was showing me his village and showing me the people who make the juice, who do the pressings, who own the vineyards and things like that. It was a great experience. But one awesome experience I did have on top of all of that was going to the press in Auger, which is owned by his friend, and he's friends with the family who owns the primate press. And even though the majority of the vineyards don't make their own champagne for sale, they do make their own champagne for themselves. That is really, really cool. And it's not for sale. They only make a couple of hundred bottles a year. They may have an acre or half an acre, or even just a quarter of an acre of land that they have that is their own personal garden, and they make their own champagne from it. They stick to the exact same standards and traditions, and probably more stringently so than everybody else, because this is super, super small batch, not for sale. This is champagne made the old ways, because that's just the way you do it. If you're gonna have your own little garden and make your own champagne, you're gonna do it the right way. And while I was there, I was able to sample and taste a lot of these traditional, old school family champagnes. And I jokingly call them bootleg champagnes, because essentially that's what they are, but not in the negative way. And this is really bringing me right back to that night at Auger. The one thing that you're gonna get immediately is the minerality from this. And that is gonna come from the chalky nature of the Cote de Blanc. Remember, the white of whites, okay? This is chalkiness, this is minerality, this is just an amazing smelling champagne, and you can actually smell its complexity. Now, Chardonnay usually isn't a one-trick pony, far from it, but a Chardonnay is a Chardonnay. This has a complexity on the nose. There's depth to this. A depth that you usually find in a blend, Pinot and Chardonnay, or Chardonnay and Meunier, or all three. But there's a complexity here, and you get it strongly on the nose. I get some pastry. I get some fresh white fruit, some pear maybe. Yep, some pear, some apple. Enough talk. Let's taste this. Oh man, I forgot how much I like this. First thing off the bat is some acidity. Boom, you're gonna get that blast of acidity. And it does dry out your mouth, it is astringent. And I like that. And that's what you're gonna get when you have Grand Cru Chardonnay. This is playful, and I mean that. It's very playful. It's almost like that second date where the ice has kind of been broken and people start to kind of like relax and be who they are, and you get that with this. This is cloy. This makes you smile. It really does, and I'm really smiling because this just makes you smile. Ooh, it is young, okay, and you can have champagnes that have some youth to them, that are lively, that are cloy, that are playful. It doesn't mean they're bad. I mean, this ages for 3 years in the cellar, and that's a decent amount of time to age a champagne. It's playfulness, it's liveliness, it's youthfulness, the high acidity. These are playing very well together. And I think if you miss one of those, you're gonna get a champagne that's a little off, without that acidity to really, heighten. The acidity is like salt, okay? When you cook, you need to add salt to bring out other flavors. And that acidity is really helping bring out some of this liveliness, bring out some of these bready notes, bring out some of this fruit, and bring out that buttery mouthfeel. Now, when I taste this, when I nose it, I'm getting fresh fruit, as I said. I'm getting God, it is so beautiful. One thing I am getting, and I can't find this on their website, I can't find this in any of my research, there's a hint of oakiness here. And at some point, something was in a barrel. There's not a lot of malolactic fermentation going on here, but there is a buttery mouthfeel to it. So I don't know where it's coming from, but there is a hint of it, and you can get it on the nose after a little while. I'm getting it now, and it's somewhere along the line this was in a barrel, or some component of it was in a barrel, and that's fine. I love a mystery, and you know, my friend Claudette always says every bottle is a mystery, every bottle is a surprise, and this is going to be quite consistent, bottle to bottle to bottle to bottle. But I'm very surprised with this because it is a mystery, and trying to deconstruct it is kind of fun. Wow. That is just beautiful. I mean, that is just absolutely beautiful. The bubbles are so tight and they're so perfect. Wow. Let's try that again. Remember, champagne should remind you of a lover's kiss. And this one's working. I got a strong memory here. So, on my scale of drinkability, this is an 8, and this is a strong 8. Will you get tired of this? No. However, I would not drink this all the time. Can you? Yeah, you can. But you don't ever want to lose what this has to offer in burning your palate out with it. There are some champagnes that you can literally drink every day like water, and that doesn't mean they're bad, it just means that they have that characteristic and they were meant to do that. As always, thank you all for joining tonight. It's been a great start to a great year. 2023 is going to be an awesome year for us, and we have finally gotten all of our liquor licensing and our federal licensing and our import and our wholesale licensing sorted out. And we're going to be hitting the ground running hardcore this spring. So as always, keep watching, keep liking, keep subscribing, leave a comment, and the best job a guy could have. I really mean that. Until the next time, thank you, and remember, champagne every day.